All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to call the meeting of the Auburn School Committee, the January 7th meeting of the Auburn School Committee to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll start down here on my right with introductions.
Dan Poisson, Ward 5.
Lydia Chapman, Ward 4.
Corin McWigan, Ward 1.
Misty Edgecombe, Ward 2.
Pamela Albert at large.
Sue Doris, Superintendent.
Here I am, Pat Gaudier, Ward 3.
Jay Rich at large.
Adam Platt, City Council Representative.
Calvin Vincent, Student Representative.
Amanda Kuchar, Business Manager.
Scott Anier, Assistant Superintendent.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome back. Happy New Year. I'm going to start with the approval of tonight's consent agenda, which includes the approval of tonight's agenda as well as the approval of the minutes of the December 17th, 2025 meeting. Do I have a motion? Corin, do I have a second?
Seconded.
Adam, all those in favor? Motion carries. We do not have any recognitions tonight, and it does not look like anyone is here for public comment tonight. So we'll move right along. Dr. Doris, I don't believe we have a presentation tonight.
We do not.
Okay. Calvin, do we have a school committee representative's report tonight?
Yeah, a little bit of a report tonight. Good evening, everyone. Beginning at Edward Little, students and staff are closing in at the end of their first semester for the next 2 weeks. Midterms begin on January 20th, and the second semester begins on Tuesday, the 27th. Additionally, before the holiday break, the admin at Edward Little led a staff-focused Spirit Week. The popular days were Onesie Day and Ugly Sweater Day. The staff also received several treats throughout the week, including the annual holiday luncheon and free breakfast on Monday. Moving on to sports, the 4 Heel Point team sports, so girls basketball, boys basketball, and both girls and boys ice hockey, are all ranked in the top 4 in their standings and their regions, and are setting up nicely to go to the playoffs in February. In wrestling, Cooper Blair joined Evan Madigan as the only 2 wrestlers with 100 career wins in the history of the program. Daphne DeRoche also finished as the first EL female wrestler to finish runner-up at the recent Noble tourney, which had 35 teams in attendance. Indoor track athlete Tommy LeBlanc recently cleared 15 feet 2 inches in the pole vault, breaking his own school record by 8 inches and qualifying for the New Balance National Championship. Lastly, but certainly not least, the Edward Little Unified basketball team began practicing this week and starts their season against Leavitt on Friday in Turner. Moving on to AMS. Sports have also had a great start, like Edward Little. All 4 basketball teams have winning records. AMS ski team has their first ski meet of the season this weekend. After the holiday break, AMS is focusing on resettling in and recentering themselves back into their school routine, and they will cap off their month in January with their next school dance. At Sherwood Heights, like everyone else, they are returning and enjoyed their 2-week break. They are off to a great return and have been reviewing their school-wide expectations and routines. The next school-wide community meeting will be on January 13th, where second graders will present information on Martin Luther King Jr., and that evening, there will be also the district-wide elementary band concert at the DMG. The next evening family event at Sherwood Heights will be the Love Bug Bingo on February 13th. Moving on into Walton, before the holiday break, students are recognized for their attendance, hard work, kindness, and academic growth during their Winter Awards Assembly. Along with the awards assembly, grades 1, 3, 4, and 5 also had learning celebrations in their classrooms, which allowed students the opportunity to showcase their work and learning. Looking ahead, Walton will be hosting a Sweetheart Bingo event for families on February 6th, and there will be a family breakfast on Wednesday, February the 11th. At Fairview, students were welcomed back after their 2-week break and are enjoying a great start to the new year. They're getting ready for their winter progress check assessments that will start next week for all grades. Overall, it appears throughout the district, January is a quiet month for activities, and all schools are primarily focusing on getting back to academics and the transition back to school. Finally, I'd just like to conclude with some important upcoming dates for the next rough year. February break begins on the 13th and is 37 days away. April break begins on April 17th and is 100 days away. And finally, graduation is on May 30th, which is only 143 days away. And that is all I have tonight.
Thank you, Calvin. Moving on to our superintendent's report, Dr. Doris.
Thank you, Chairperson Albert. I have 3 items tonight. First, the budget development process continues this month. Beginning tomorrow, Ms. Couture, Mr. Anir, and I will be meeting individually with school administrators and directors to review budget priorities. And these meetings are scheduled to continue through the first week in February. And second, as we discussed at our last school committee meeting, the AMS Advisory Committee, along with Harriman Associates, will present its recommendations at our next meeting on January 21st. And finally, our State of the Schools presentation is now scheduled for our first meeting in February, and that will be February 4th. This presentation, led by our principals, will provide an overview of student achievement and other key data, and will highlight the strengths, needs, and the work taking place in each of our schools. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Moving on to my school committee chairperson's report, I just have a couple of things tonight. I did send out an email to you all earlier this week about trying to schedule our boardsmanship workshop. MSMA is available to come on, I believe, January 21st, so prior to our next meeting. They are able to start at 4 o'clock, which would precede our normal 6 o'clock meeting. So if you all can reply, I've heard from a couple of you, but if the rest of you can reply and let me know whether or not that works. If not, we'll find another date. I'd also am trying to gauge interest in whether or not we'd like to have MSMA come back at another time and do a Robert's Rules workshop, if people want a refresher on that. So if you can also let me know in your response about that. And then I did want to give an update on our subcommittee, subcommittee members for our standing subcommittees. Let me get back to the right screen here. So all of those of you who have new assignments, I've already emailed, but just so everyone is aware. So on the finance subcommittee, it is still me, Adam, and now Jay is going to be our new member to the finance subcommittee. On the policy committee, it will still be Dan, Pat, and a new member will be Misty. On the facilities subcommittee is still me, Adam, and Pat. On the curriculum subcommittee is still Corin, Jay, and now Lydia. On the health and safety committee, it's now 3 new members, me, Misty, and Lydia. And on the negotiations is still me and Corin, and the audit is still Adam and Dan. So if anyone has any questions about that, please reach out to me, let me know. And please make sure that you are aware of all of the upcoming dates and times of the various subcommittee meetings. If a date or time does not work for you, if you're on a new committee, please reach out to either me or Dr. Doris so that we can try to find a right day and time that will work for everyone. And then I think that is all I had for my update this evening. So, moving on, City Council update. Adam.
I don't have much to update. At our meeting on Monday, we continued our discussion about syringe service programs. Secondly, we got an update on a 7 Chestnut Street development. That's where the new PAL Center is. The city's seeking some grant monies to demolish a building that's been a nuisance for a while and is now, I believe, owned by the city, to build a new playground. So there's a new playground. We got to see, I don't know if you guys have seen renderings of that playground as part of the PAL Center, but it's kind of one of the last pieces of that development is figuring out what to do with the house, finding the grant monies to clear it, remediate it, and build the swing sets. That was pretty much it. Let me see, I'm just looking through the agenda. No, nothing of too much significance. If anyone ever has questions about city council agenda items, please let me know, and I'm happy to discuss them further.
Great, thank you, Adam. As far as committee reports, we don't have any actual, well, we have the AMS Advisory Committee minutes linked to the agenda. We also have the upcoming Health and Safety Subcommittee agenda linked, which that meeting is tomorrow night at 5. Moving on, we don't have any old or new business since we are just kind of getting restarted with our work in our subcommittees. So stay tuned for new business. And then a list of all of our upcoming meetings for the subcommittee meetings coming up, as well as our next regular meeting on January 21st. Do I have any future agenda items or requests for information? Pat?
Just a question about the city council meeting on February 2nd.
Yes,
Should that be on
that should be on the list. So it is February 2nd at 5:30.
Okay.
And that is a joint meeting between the city council and the school committee.
And that's a Monday.
And that's a Monday.
Yep.
Thank you for catching that.
We'll make sure that gets updated for our next agenda. So Monday, February 2nd at 5:30, joint
Yes.
city council and school committee meeting. Okay. Thank you, Pat. Any other future agenda items or requests for information? Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh,
I just want to make one comment.
Yeah.
Yesterday or 2 days ago, I asked Sue to put all the city councilors on the school closure email list.
oh, yep.
Again, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but important for you guys to know. I guess city councilors now should know when school's out, so they can speak to their constituents and any parents that reach out to them. Small thing, but probably good for us to know that. So,
Thank you for requesting that, and we did get that notification out first thing this morning. You're welcome.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Pat, do I have a second? Corin, all those in favor? And we are adjourned at 6:11.
I said 13.
Thank you, everyone.
I said that. I think that is a